So we're going to talk about spoon bending, how it works, what it is, how to do it, essentially. So here are a number of spoons that I have bent at one time or the other fairly recently. I only started doing this 2 or 3 months ago. I think I heard about spoon bending over the years and was always curious about it and how to do it. I had never actually tried to do it, and so I learned recently from a local woman who had posted some videos, and I had seen her class. I went to a class with my kids, and lo and behold, we all bent spoons, and it was very cool. And so spoon bending. What is spoon bending and how does it work? How it works is quite interesting to me. And the best way that I can think of to describe it is that your energy, the spoon and your energy become part of the same thing. And you ask the spoon to bend. And so this is a spoon, has a little bit of a bend to it, but it's not something that just goes and bends when I try to do that. And so if I put enough pressure on it, I could probably bend the spoon, but it would require, some force and pressure on it. So I'm not going to do that. The idea is that you ask the spoon to bend, and you can do it in a few different ways. So let's see. Getting yourself into a quiet place inside. Some people like to shout at their spoons and curse their spoons to get them to bend, which isn't my way of doing things. I like to ask the spoon to bend. Sometimes you have to be, forceful in your asking, just like you do when you have to ask your kids to do things, and they don't always want to do it. But you say, "Come on, needs to get done right now," and I'm going to count to 3. And by the time you get to 3, the thing magically usually has happened. And actually the same thing is true with spoon bending. One of the things that you can do is you can count. So you can, take some deep breaths. I'll try and keep the spoon on camera at all times so that you can see it. So one of the things I like to do is I like to count. So I inhale and exhale, count 1. Inhale, exhale, count 2. And my magic number for spoon bending is 5. Inhale 3, and exhale 3. Inhale 4, exhale 4. Inhale 5, and know that when we exhale 5, the spoon is going to bend. So inhale 5, and exhale 5, and the spoon bends. And then you can do it again, and you can pick another number if you want to pick another number. You can inhale 1. Say bend, spoon, bend. It's the other thing you can do. Say you can inhale. And you can say bend, spoon, bend, bend, spoon, bend. And sometimes the spoon is not going to feel like it wants to bend. It's going to go, I'm having resistance. And then there's going to be at some point, and you can do the counting again. And at some point, the spoon's going to go, yes, I'm ready to bend now. It's not ready to bend yet. And so I just keep testing it. And keep going, okay, spoon, when it's ready, it's going to bend. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to bend. And so one of the things I like to think about is how everything is made up of energy. Everything in this entire universe is made of energy. And it's all atoms and subatoms and quantum particles all vibrating. And some things feel very solid, like the spoon. Most of the time your spoon feels very solid, right? And then sometimes, and then there's things that are a lot less solid. Liquids, for instance, are obviously less solid than spoons. And air and gas is very, very less solid, very eloquent today. But it's all just made up of energy, and it's all vibration. And so one way of thinking of spoon bending is extending your vibration into the spoon. And some people like to think about like the energy coming out of them, like the spoon becomes, I don't know, part of them, part of their aura. So the energy, that's part of you, that animates you, that goes down your fingers, makes your fingers move, right? We have control over that. That the spoon becomes part of that. The spoon becomes part of this energy. Oh, there it goes. So the spoon is part of my fingers. The spoon is part of my arms. And because of that, come on, bend. Oh, that's a little tired. It got really, really soft there for a moment. It just got super soft like taffy, and it melted. Visualization is another way that you can do spoon bending. And so I went to a sweet factory when I was a kid, and we got to watch the sweets being made, and that was really cool. And one of the things I loved is I loved the image of the taffy and of the, I think it was hard candy. It was candy that became hard and you ate it hard. But in the sweet factory, it was just soft and it was, it still had form. It wasn't like a vat of goo. It still very much had form, but it was just soft and sometimes, and so visualizing that and knowing that there are things that can be hard, that we usually see as hard and experience as being hard, that can also just get really, 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 really soft. Really soft. And so that visualization doesn't appear to be working for me at the moment, but it often does. So there's the counting. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On 5, you're going to bend. When you inhale and exhale, and then the imagining the spoon as an extension of my arms. Its energy is just part of my energy. It is just part of me. And then I bend. So this was a straight spoon. Now it's a twirly bent spoon. And that's pretty fascinating. And one of the things I like about spoon bending is not so much the fact that I can ruin perfectly good spoons, but the fact that, when you're doing it, you feel it gets soft. There's resistance, and then there comes this moment that it gets soft, and it bends. And you go, how does it do that? And if it can do this, if I can get this spoon, this formerly, straight spoon to bend, and I can feel that moment of softness when the energy is flowing just right, and it's not my superhuman strength that's doing it. What else can I do? And what else is there in this world and in my life that I have previously gone, it's like this, it's straight and it's hard and it's unyielding, and that perhaps could bend, that perhaps could change, that if I change my beliefs, if I believe that this spoon can bend, if I believe that the energy around it can change, that the vibration of it can change, that it can actually become soft, it can become soft and yielding, that, what is possible? What is possible for my life? What is possible for my experience? And so that's the thing that I like about spoon bending, is that it's cool, but it's mind opening, and I think we can generally use more of that. So I encourage you, that actually took a little bit too much force for me on my thumb. This is a very, very thick spoon also. But what else is possible for you in your life? What else can you do? What else can you can you experience? It doesn't have to be like this.